All right, so this is part five of our great escape out of Iraq. So we just crossed the border. We're staying at this little hotel. We get up the next morning. This Kurdish cab driver picks us up and starts driving us through the countryside of Turkey, right? So we happen to go through the Mount Ararat area. All right, this is where Noah's Ark apparently landed when the floodwaters receded. So, and at the time, I know the name Mount Ararat because that's also in the Bible, but I wasn't thinking about Noah's Ark like, oh, yeah, maybe we could see it. But it's just a mountain range. So who knows? I might have actually drove past where Noah's Ark is or lying or was. So anyway, we're driving up and down through these mountains, and this cab driver is playing this Kurdish music. Okay, and no offense to my Kurdish brothers out there, but this music is just it was pretty annoying after about an hour and a half, 2 hours, right? So we're driving around through this countryside up through these mountains, weaving around, and then we kind of come up to this crest in the road, and all of a sudden there's this Turkish army checkpoint. So if they had like an armored vehicle, and then they had about, I don't know, 10 troops kind of like outside the vehicle, one of them on a machine gun pointing right at us, and they were doing checkpoints. Okay, remember last video I told you about how Turkey has had problem with Kurdish fighters and attacks from Kurds and all that stuff. So we pull up to this checkpoint, and of course my cab driver's Kurdish, so he's kind of freaking out. He immediately turns off his music because I guess they're not supposed to be playing it. And these guys approach us, and me and Mr. Steve are in the back seat, and we're just kind of sitting there chilling. And we're like, what the hell's going on here? And we had these machine guns pointing at us, and this Turkish officer comes up to our window, knocks on it. Or actually, our driver gets out of the car, starts talking to him, and the Turkish officer's kind of just being aggressive, kind of, talking down to him, kind of yelling at him a little bit. And of course, our cab driver is like pretty nervous, right? And he's showing him his passport, and I guess the cab driver kind of looks at us, he points at us, and he's telling him something. Basically, I think the officer's like, "Who are those guys back there?" And he's like, "Oh, those are Americans." So the officer kind of walks back, knocks on the window, looks in. He goes, "You American?" And we go, "Yes." And we show him our passport. He goes, "Okay, no problem. Go." So cab driver was totally relieved, hop in the car, get in there, take off the Von Turkey. Okay, so we get the Von, we find a hotel, we were chilling. It was Christmas Eve, I think it was, and we were gonna fly out the next day. I'll start off the last episode or the last video about our great escape, where we fly from Van to Istanbul and then back. Okay. And so until the next video, take care, stay safe.